So we have a counter proposal for this infrastructure bill. $568 billion. That is the counter proposal or the counter offer. And we already know the American Jobs Plan, so President Biden's plan for infrastructure, at least the first plan, we're looking at over $2 trillion, around $2.3 to $2.5 trillion. So the counter offer from the Republicans is $568 billion. And one of the senators backing this is Senator Shelley Moore Capito. And she's stating, look, this is it. This is the infrastructure bill that we want to put forward. And one of the good things about this infrastructure bill is that they want to allocate $299 billion for roads, bridges, and highways. And this is double the amount that President Biden has on the table for roads, bridges, and highways. So that's good. However, in a few minutes, I'm going to talk about how they plan to pay for this, and it's pretty much dead on arrival. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so let's take a look at this clip here. Now, this is coming from the Washington Post. It says Republicans also, so in addition to what I just talked about, this $299 billion for roads, highways, and bridges, Republicans also are setting aside $61 billion for public transit, $44 billion for airports, and they really do need to revamp these airports, because I've traveled, for the last 4 years, I've been traveling all over the world, and one thing that you will notice when you travel outside of the U.S., the airports are really nice in a lot of these countries, and our airports don't even compare to some of the airports that I've traveled to outside of the country, so we really need to focus on that. $65 billion for broadband internet access. The party's infrastructure blueprint further proposes $35 billion for water and wastewater projects, mirroring the amount they are supporting as part of a bipartisan water infrastructure bill slated to come before the Senate next week. So that is what we're looking at when it comes to this $568 billion counteroffer. And so you have some support from Republicans right now. Republican senators are supporting this $568 billion infrastructure bill. However, you do have some Democrats coming out and saying, look, it's just not going to work. And the main reason that they're coming out against this is because of how they plan to pay for it. And so part of what they want to do is they want to add some type of a tax to electric vehicles. And so that would obviously cause the price of electric vehicles to go up. So if you own an electric vehicle now, or you're planning on buying an electric vehicle, it's probably going to be more expensive. And we already know to purchase an electric vehicle usually is more expensive than purchasing a gas vehicle. So that's something that if you are in the market for one, or if you already have an electric vehicle, you are going to be taxed at a higher rate. They do not plan, and this is good news, as of right now, they don't plan to increase the gas tax. And that was one of the things that had been mentioned before by some Republicans that wanted to create an infrastructure bill. They're saying, well, we can have it paid for by increasing the gas tax. So they're not talking about that anymore. That got a lot of pushback, because you had a lot of people looking at that saying, what are you talking about? We're talking about raising the corporate tax rate, and now you're talking about, no, let's just raise the gas tax on all Americans. Now, the Republican plan, they're keeping with, they don't want to raise this corporate tax rate. So that's not going to happen in their plan. And they want to repurpose some of the money from the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that was just passed. So this unused money is what they're calling it. Although the bill was just passed, a month and a half ago, and now they're already talking about, well, unused money, we're going to take some money from there and use it for this infrastructure bill. Now, that's dead on arrival. Democrats are not going to go for that. Democrats, it took a lot for Democrats to come on board and figure out how to get this stimulus package passed, get this state and local funding passed. So they're not going to take money from this stimulus package, the $1.9 trillion package that was just passed. That's just not going to happen. And so they're going to have to figure out another way. If they want to go with this proposal, they're going to have to figure out another way to get the money to pay for it. And unfortunately, the only real way that I can see them moving is some type of a tax on the American people. That's the only way. Now, President Biden has indicated, look, I'm not raising taxes on most of the American people. So his focus is people making $400,000 or more. He's not raising taxes on anyone making less. So a gas tax would not be an option, according to President Biden. So this is going to be really interesting to see what comes of this. Now, like I said, $568 billion compared to over $2 trillion in an infrastructure bill. There's a large gap. And there's always this large gap, which is unfortunate, where you have one side saying, okay, we're willing to pay, let's just say $600 billion. And then you have the other side saying, well, no, it's more like $2 trillion. They're always far apart. And Senator Coons, he's a Democrat, and he was talking about this a few days ago. And he was talking about maybe we should focus on an $800 billion infrastructure bill that just focuses on roads and bridges. And so maybe that will be the sweet spot that they start looking at. But how to pay for it, that's going to be the big talk for the next couple of months until they figure out what they're going to do with this infrastructure bill. You're going to hear discussions about how are we going to pay for this. And then we also need to focus on the fact that President Biden, in his infrastructure bill, he wants to add human infrastructure. So he does want to add other things to this proposal, to this bill that Republicans are not talking about right now. And so that's going to be very important as well. Because if you're negotiating things, you are going to have to look at the reality that you have some funding for free college tuition, you have funding for taking care of the elderly and things like that are in Biden's proposal, and they're not in this new proposal coming from the Republicans. So that's going to be something else that has to be discussed. So I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you like this $568 billion proposal? Are you more comfortable with this $2 trillion proposal? How do you think it should be paid for? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.